Out in the middle of the savannah, a man lies collapsed. Mark Thompson, a 35-year-old wildlife documentary filmmaker. While filming a pride of lions in the African savannah, he got captured by poachers and left tied to a tree, totally abandoned. The poachers bound him up tight to the tree and just took off. The ropes tying his wrists and ankles were impossible to break. He screamed, "Help me," over and over. But the savannah was way too huge, and his team was at base camp 20 kilometers away. The first night, Mark was shaking as he heard the crazy laughter of hyenas. The second day, he drank the last drop from his water bottle. On the morning of the third day, his consciousness started to fade. Is this really the end? That's when it happened. A massive male lion showed up, standing over a meter tall at the shoulder. The king of the savannah. Mark's heart was going absolutely wild. Meeting a lion in the wild is dangerous enough, but when you can't even move? But something was weird. The lion didn't attack. Instead, it stopped a few meters away and just stared at Mark for a long time. In those amber eyes, there was no hate, no aggression. The lion moved in slowly, real slowly. Mark shut his eyes. This is seriously the end. But no attack came. When he opened his eyes, the lion wasn't even looking at Mark. It was looking at the ropes tying him up. It sniffed them and suddenly started growling. But that growl wasn't aimed at Mark. It was an angry sound directed at the ropes. And then Mark noticed something. This lion had an old scar on its left front leg, the mark of a trap. Suddenly, a memory from 2 years ago came flooding back. 2 years ago, Mark found an injured young male lion while filming. A poacher's trap was clamped on its leg, and it was dying from infection. Easy now. Easy. It's all right. I'm here to help you. Back then, Mark's team made a huge decision. We gotta help. It was crazy dangerous. We've cleaned. Getting close to a wild lion meant risking their lives, but Mark couldn't just bail. Check him again in a week. They called a vet and shot a tranquilizer. We're going ahead. They disinfected the infected wounds and gave antibiotics. And Mark stayed by that lion's side for 3 whole weeks. Every morning, Mark went to find the lion, cleaned the wound, and put on medicine. At first, the lion growled, but little by little it started accepting Mark. After a week, the lion didn't attack when Mark got close. After 2 weeks, it was cool with Mark touching it. After 3 weeks, it was totally healed. On the day they had to split, the lion looked at Mark for a long time. Mark could never forget that look. It seemed to say, "Thank you." And now that exact same lion was standing right in front of Mark. "You remember me?" Mark said with a shaky voice. "I knew you'd come for me, old friend." Instead of answering, the lion showed him through action. It started biting the ropes with its massive teeth. 1 strand, 2 strands, slowly cutting through those tough ropes. Mark couldn't believe it. Is this actually happening? The lion didn't quit. It kept gnawing at the ropes. The ropes on his wrists, the ropes on his ankles, even the ropes tied to the tree. It pulled once. The rope loosened a bit. It pulled twice. The rope loosened more. The third time, it pulled with everything it had. Snap! The rope broke. Mark was finally free. He could move his body. "Thank you. Thank you. You saved my life." Mark whispered through his tears. "I will never forget this." The lion looked at Mark for a second, then turned its head. It seemed to be keeping watch. There was a reason. From way off in the distance, the laughter of hyenas could be heard. They were getting closer. They'd caught the scent of an injured human. The lion immediately stood in front of Mark. It let out an ear-splitting roar. The hyenas hesitated for a moment, but they knew they had the numbers. They slowly surrounded them. One charged at the lion's side. The lion struck with its claws. The hyena went flying back. Another one lunged from the left. The lion twisted its body to block it. From the right, another one charged. The lion had 0 time to rest. Right then, 3 hyenas attacked from behind all at once. One bit the lion's hind leg. The lion staggered, then thud. At that moment, Mark moved. Stumbling to his feet, he grabbed a rock nearby and threw it with all his strength at the hyena biting the lion. Direct hit. The hyena screamed and backed off. The lion looked back at Mark. In its eyes was surprise and gratitude. In that moment, they weren't human and beast anymore. They were true friends who'd saved each other's lives. The hyenas eventually took off. They realized they couldn't take down this weird alliance. Mark needed to get back to camp, but it was gonna be rough going alone. He'd been tied up for 3 days without water, but the lion didn't leave. When Mark stumbled forward, the lion slowly walked beside him, like it was escorting him. 10 kilometers. The distance to camp. Mark's legs felt like they weighed a ton. His body had totally hit the wall, but Mark couldn't stop. Each time he struggled, the lion stopped and waited for Mark. Its look wasn't impatient, just patient. The eyes of a friend waiting. The sun set. Darkness came down on the savannah. Stars popped out. Thousands of stars watching their journey. The savannah night was loaded with danger. Sounds from the darkness. The cries of beasts from far away. But the lion stayed by Mark's side the whole time. Sometimes it walked ahead, checking the path, making sure there was no danger, making sure the path was safe. Sometimes it followed slowly from behind, guarding against threats. Whenever Mark looked like he was about to collapse, the lion came close and let him lean against its body. It was warm. The lion's body heat wrapped around Mark. That warmth melted Mark's frozen body and heart. Mark put his hand on the lion's mane, a gesture of gratitude. They weren't human and beast. They were friends. Friends who'd saved each other's lives. Look over there. Finally, the lights of the camp showed up in the distance. Mark's team members came running over. "You're safe now. It's okay. It's okay." Mark shouted. "This friend saved me." The lion looked at Mark one last time. Mark got down on his knees and met the lion's eyes. "Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this." The lion gently pressed its nose against Mark's hand. Then slowly turning around, it disappeared into the darkness. Kindness goes beyond species. Love doesn't need words. And true friendship is never, ever forgotten. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe. We'll be back with more incredible stories next time. Thanks for watching.